Hi, it's Shehara, and you're listening to the Channa 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 podcast.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of my podcast. We have a very special guest today, all the way from Colombo, Sri Lanka. We have Shehara. Hi Shehara.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Hi, Channa.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Doing good. Pretty pumped for this. It's interesting.
So how's the situation in Sri Lanka with the COVID and everything? Is things getting better or
Things,
what?
yeah, no, things are getting pretty normal. Everyone's back to work. Schools are starting. My eldest son started school this week.
Right.
So things feel like they're getting back to normal. I mean, gigs are back on, so that's awesome.
What gigs are happening?
On Cage. So Surya Brothers are organizing a gig where my band and a few other bands are performing, and
Right.
that's in October. So that's going to be the first gig that's happening after COVID.
Right.
You're pretty excited that it's going to be
Yeah, yeah.
nuts.
Actually, that's something that even I'm looking forward to going for a live gig because I haven't been to a gig for like 3-4 months already.
Oh my gosh, it's been nuts, no? Like the gig withdrawals are nuts.
Yeah,
Insane.
actually, I started this podcast because of that, because I used to go to a lot of gigs and then everything suddenly stopped.
Dude, I've seen I was kind of stalking you on Instagram and I saw some of your pictures with like all your VIP passes in the back.
Yeah,
And I was like, crazy, dude, wow. That's nuts, Channa.
yeah, because
You've seen so many bands, right?
I've been going to gigs for last 20 years actually. So
Wow. So good. Wow. I haven't been out of Sri Lanka, so I haven't seen like a single international band out of the country.
right.
So, things to do.
Yeah, so I think I heard your name quite a long time ago, few years back, the name Shehara, but only recently, like I got sort of got to really know the music because you put out some of your songs and stuff like that. So, Shehara, can you tell me a little bit about your childhood and then your earliest memories of music?
Um, so childhood, during my childhood days, music was always played, right? Like my dad used to always play music. From the time I can remember, I remember the setup being really loud. My
Hmm.
dad would play things from Dire Straits to Elvis to Daniel O'Donnell to like so many different genres, right? And it would be like birthdays, sad days, good days. Every single day, the setup would be really loud. So music has always been a part of my life from the time I was born, right?
Hmm.
And even my mom's side, we have all musicians, guitarists, vocalists, and all of that. So every party also we get together, everyone's singing, everyone's jamming, and that's like part of the entire bloodline.
Right.
Um, and yeah, so like eventually with like exposure through my cousins to like Godsmack and Full and all these other bands, I got into like the harder stuff, the heavier stuff, and started exploring by myself. Um, I started downloading music through LimeWire, and that was nuts because like so like my dad's collection of music was there, but then when it came to like contemporary stuff, it was radio or like the internet, right?
Right.
So like there wasn't any way that I could have downloaded full albums. I had to go through LimeWire and like pick each link out of each song, like go through Wikipedia, look for like the track list, look for each song on LimeWire, and then try and download that. And then it would be nuts, like 'cause some songs won't be there also. And like till recently, I realized some of the albums I had downloaded and listened to like religiously didn't have some of the songs. So when I listen to like other people listening to the album, I'd be like, "What is that? There, like you have never heard this album? It's the Metallica this album," and I'd be like, "What? I never downloaded this song." So it's always a nice experience there. And yeah, like started earning, started buying CDs, and then got introduced to MuTorrent,
Hmm.
and yeah, YouTube, Spotify, all of that.
So how's the singing? Did you like sing while you were in school or church or something? How did
Uh, a little bit of both. I mean, I wasn't totally into the choir, but then my friends realized that I could sing, and then they got me into the senior choir, where I was the senior vice. What was it? The vice president, the vice. president of the choir or something. In like we had choir practices every week. We sang school
Mm.
functions and stuff, and yeah. But I mean, like for me, mostly like I would go for choir practices wearing like a metal T-shirt or an Eminem T-shirt, and like the principal would be like, "You're not supposed to be wearing these T-shirts," you know. But I mean, like still, that was my background. But I still went for choir practices. It was nice to be in a community where people love music. So yeah.
Right. So what were the artists that you or the bands that you were listening to back then? Like, who were your
Back
earliest
then,
favorites?
the earliest favorites. So the earliest favorites would be like Live, Metallica, Pantera, Iron Maiden, Dire Straits, stuff like that. And Eminem for sure. Eminem was like my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
I like have two huge posters still that I found recently that my parents had put away after I got married. So I'm like, Eminem, fangirling moment.
Yeah. So, when did you like got the idea? Like, like there's couple of famous female fronted bands, right? So, when did you got sort of exposed to that, or got the idea like you want to do a band?
I think with Nightwish, I was introduced to like a proper powerful front woman through Nightwish, right? Through Talia Turunen. And like during my O levels, I was doing this project. We had this O levels, A levels. We had to do this project, this group project, and then our individual project. So for my individual project, I did the evolution of heavy metal, and I started digging into all these, like the entire history of heavy metal, like local metal, how genres came to be, how the sounds evolved, all of that. And with that, I was introduced to like Arch Enemy, like Amaranth, and like all these other agonists and all of that, all these female fronted bands. But
Hmm.
like Nightwish, I think was one of the main bands that I had heard because of Nemo and Amaranth. So yeah,
Right.
that's how I was introduced to it. And also like it's not just the metal fronted female fronted bands in metal, right? Like I used to watch, I still watch Naruto a lot. So like Naruto has a lot of J-pop bands that are female fronted as well. So
Right.
like it was always part of that, and I was like awed by
Right.
it.
So, what was your like first performance, like a rock song or metal song? Do you remember?
The first proper metal song would have been Amaranth, yeah, by Nightwish, that performed at TNL on stage.
Right.
That
Right.
was like the proper.
Can you tell me about the TNL on stage experience? Why did you join, or I mean, who who like inspired you to join TNL on stage?
I mean, when I was in school, we weren't allowed to take part in any extracurricular activities, right? And like out of school, we weren't allowed to take part in any advertisements or like extracurricular stuff. So for me, being a rebel also, I always wanted to kind of do the thing that wasn't allowed. And like TNL on stage musically for me was like the thing I should be a part of or like take part in, because I thought that would be like the chance to actually explore the music industry. So the second I finished school, I jumped into theater on stage.
Hmm.
Yeah, sent the demo that my uncle recorded in his home studio, bedroom studio, and then yeah, got in through that. And like it was a really great experience, Channa, because like I got to do my first recording in a studio, proper studio, and then like the exposure on stage and like practicing with the band, all the hours and the time and the effort you put into like perfecting a song with the band. That entire exposure, that entire experience was really important. I felt like to get to where I am right now. So like Hondra Katta Kala, learned a lot of things, and it was very important. It was really good. I was
Right.
a finalist that year, but yeah, it was a really good experience.
I think TNL on stage, because a lot of guests I had from Sri Lanka, whether it's metal or whether it's hip hop, they always say that like on stage was one of the platforms for them to
Yeah.
to become known, because there are a lot of bands went on TNL on stage. TNL on stage did a
Mhm.
lot of good for the industry, right?
It did, right? And like they really, they shared the artist's information. They gave us like advice on how to start pages, how to market ourselves. They did photo shoots for us. So all of them was like a really important to like get us out there. No? It's really good.
So the year you
We had a
joined,
snap
were
photo.
you the were you the only female when you joined that year, TNL on stage?
Only female rock artists, but no, there have always been other female artists there.
Right. Who won the that year? Do you remember who was the winner?
Dilini Pereira.
All right. Okay.
She has an amazing voice.
Okay. So your first recording was for TNL on stage, right?
Yep, yeah. I
What was the
recorded an original
wha-
for the TL on stage compilation.
what was the song?
That was Broken Wings.
Okay, right.
Broken Wings. That was the first like proper recording of one of the originals.
Actually, I was like,
Yeah.
I was having a walk earlier, and I was actually listening to the whole album of Fountain of Memory. I listened
Nice.
like,
That
I
must
think
have been a short walk though, because like
no, I think I listened like 3 or 4 times.
the album is pretty short, right? Oh, nice. See, that's the good thing about a short album. You can listen to it. Nice, awesome.
Although you put out these
Yeah.
songs quite recently,
I mean, it was
but those songs were written bit long ago, right?
yeah, like there's quite a bit of a funny story kind of in that because like I recorded them. I wrote them
Mm.
just a few years, like say about 2 years after Tina on stage. Everything was complete with Tenny, right? Tenny and I wrote the songs together. So I wrote the melodies and the lyrics. I'd sing it to Tenny and he'd help me out with like the musical parts, right?
Right.
And like we performed those songs with band members at like various gigs, Colombo Music Festival, like a lot of other festivals and stuff, right? And then we got into recording the album, which took about 2 to 3 years, and that was an entire flop because all the time and effort was like gone like that. It was the entire album was deleted. But it's a good lesson because like the second time I got to start recording the album, I did it with Aslan Sherifuddin and Izzy Walchild. I started growling on the album, started screaming on the album. I'm like really letting loose and doing what I actually wanted to do in the album. Um, the vision was clearer, the focus was clearer, and I actually just I was able to put more harmonies into it, and it sounded really good. So, like the second version of the album turned out really great, and that also took 4 years. But yeah, so 8 years altogether. It's in the making for 8 years altogether.
Right. I want to talk about few
Finally,
songs. So I was listening to, like, I listened couple of times already. So I like this song. Can you tell me about this song, Transparent Black?
yeah. Do you like that? Do you like Transparent Black?
Yeah, I mean, what's the story behind that song?
So Transparent Black is a song that I wrote when I had to kind of take a really long, lonely walk from Katubedda to my place, right? Because uh, I mean, I don't blame my father for it. I was a very rebellious kid,
Right.
and I came back to the stop where he was supposed to pick me up from in Katubedda really late, later than I usually should have. And he left me and went, right? He was like, "You're gonna behave like this, that's it," right? And he went back home. So now I had no money, nowhere to call anybody. Uh, Stuck there, standing at the bus hall, like really annoyed, really like feeling like I've been abandoned and really bad, right? I felt like my parents had disowned me, they've like rejected me, all of that. So all this hurt, anger, and it wasn't just that moment, it was like all these like years of like, all this hurt and anger inside, right? So from I mean, at that moment, I realized now I just have to walk back home. And on my way back home, I started writing this song in my head to get rid of all that hate and anger because I realized, okay, I'm not so perfect either, and I have all this darkness and this all this anger inside that I need to let go because it's not doing me any good. It's not doing my parents any good. It's doing nobody good, right? So it was just feelings into words, into melody, and I just kind of released all of that anger and didn't really want it anymore. And that's the story behind the song. By the time I ended up home, I had written the melody and the lyrics. Walked back home feeling a lot better. So, yeah, lot less angry.
So you have two songs. I mean, your one of your most famous songs is the Broken Wings, right? So I see that when I listen Broken Wings and then Love for Eternity, I feel that those songs are actually like connected. Like I feel, I don't know, maybe the sounds kind of like it's a continuity. Is there
Yeah.
anything like that?
Actually, a lot of people get mixed up. Sorry.
I mean, tell me about those two songs.
Love for Eternity was the first song I ever wrote. That was like my turning point in realization that music was what I actually wanted to do. When I
Right,
wrote that song, it almost felt, epiphanic. It almost felt really spiritual for me, Channa, because that was the moment I realized music is what I need to do, what I have to do, what I really want to do, and it was really helping me, and maybe it could help like everybody else, right?
right,
So, Love for Eternity is somewhat a gospel song, um, and it was, yeah, that was the first song, and then right after that is Broken Wings. That's the song I wrote after that, not
right.
right, like in the sense, not immediately, but it's the second song I wrote, Broken Wings. So I guess, yeah, there is a bit of a connection in the music because like the intro sounds similar,
Right.
the chords used are similar, but like, yeah, they have not, they don't really have a connection though.
What do you trying to say on the song Broken Wings?
Broken Wings is wow, it's basically not letting the darkness and all the trauma and every bad experience make you build a wall around you, rather like break down that wall and like rebel against all the stereotypical notions of, oh, you need to harden yourself and not care about the world. Believe in love and keep moving in love.
Right. There's a quite a bit more heavy song on that album, which is called, I don't know how I pronounce it. Is it called Brunch?
Yes, it's branch, but so it's the run is in the middle because it's saying put the BCH together and then you put the run together.
Ah,
So I
okay.
couldn't really put a lot of profanity in the album. I put brunch. Try to make it look a bit fancy.
I think I sort of got it. I thought that okay, you know.
So it's all about having brunch, yes. Have a good meal and then run. Go.
So the lineup that you have for the band. So when did the band actually started? The Shehara?
uh, I mean, for live gigs back then itself, Tenny and I put together a band. We had like the drummer, the bassist. Tenny was on guitars.
Right.
I was on vocals, and yeah, so we played live gigs with other musicians, and then over the years, they all had to go abroad for studies because all of us were young, right?
Right.
Most of them went abroad and all of that. But for my album launch, Dimitri, Ash, Revan, and Easy got together, and all of us formed the band. And we've been together right throughout, performing like really big gigs like Pulse, No Covers Allowed. We played Comic Con and like lots of other stuff. So even now on Cage, we're playing together, and it's been a really good experience. Like all of us gel really well together. It's good.
Right.
This has been like the
Yeah. So how is the reaction from the, like, when you guys are playing shows? Because you know the metal shows is the what I remember from going to gigs in Colombo is it's mostly guys who come to the gigs. Very rarely that they will be like
Mhm.
females, because it will be probably like girlfriend of somebody or something. They just, but how is the situation now?
Yeah.
Is there a lot of female attendees coming to the shows?
There is. Thankfully, there is. Like I've been in the industry for 10 years, right? So I've been going to a lot of gigs, and I've seen the transition. It's amazing to see women right in front right now. So many females, so many of my friends, the girlfriends, the sisters. Yeah, there are so many females now. It's beautiful. It's nice to see that empowerment there.
Shehara, do you remember what was your like first concert that you went to?
Yeah, the Stig's Stigmata concert. As was it? We All Die Young. That was my first ever concert. I was put up Borkia Lagia with my parents,
Right,
and I was chaperoned by my cousins, elder cousins, but finally got to go for a gig after school. Yeah, it was
right.
that was like yeah, because like the experience in the community. I was sitting on one of these, what do you call it, the barricades that you have in the corners. I was just sitting there, headbanging, watching the bands perform, and I was like, wow, that was it.
Right. Shara, so you're also behind the music online music store Shehara, right?
Yep.
So
Started that during COVID as well. During
yes. So can you tell me about that? Why did you started that site?
yeah. Um, so like I've always wanted to do something that would help the community, right? Help the entire music industry. And what I felt like being in the metal industry was that our music, like we are capable of getting our songs on different platforms, Channa, right? But like the people that would actually get online and buy the songs are much less than for the mass, right?
Mm,
Um, and I was thinking, especially during the COVID, especially during the pandemic and all, if there was some way that artists could actually like get financial support from their fans, that would be like that would really help to actually get our songs on other platforms as well, right? It could help fund our other projects, artwork, and like at least something small that could support us financially. So and like I've been a graphic designer, I've been a web designer for so many years, I've been a video editor, and I was thinking this is something that I can do. I could use all my skills to actually do something that is useful. And I mean, I had the help of WebExPay and the payment gateway that was on my website, right? So I kind of approached them and extended it to other artists as well. So then I opened the website Shehara Music, sh3hri.com. And through that, I've been approaching artists. They've been approaching me. We've been selling their songs online, and I mean, it's not as successful as I'd like it to be right now. But there are people who are supportive and who really believe in supporting local music scene. So it's picking up.
mm,
But yeah, I would like. I think the problem with it is that it's a new platform and that people are not really willing to take out their credit cards or the debit cards and actually make an online payment through a website they don't know of, right?
right.
But like it's a secure payment gateway. It's through WebExPay. They've been like the oldest payment gateway in the country, and yeah, it's a solid scene. And then artists get 75% of all the sales made. So
Right. So they get the users can download like an MP3 of the music, or how does it work?
sorry, sorry,
So
Channa, what is it?
how do they purchase the music? Do they get a like an MP3 or something like that?
They get a high quality MP3 directed to their email.
Right,
Yeah, once they make.
right, right. I saw that yeah, the songs cost like 140 rupees, right? Per song, something like that.
Yeah, just
So that is like less than $1, right?
yep, exactly.
Yeah,
So I was hoping, maybe when things pick up, increase the amount because then the artist would be getting more as well. But since it's new and people are still opening up to it, so keep it at 140, which is like a practical amount.
yeah. So how many artists do you have right now on the platform?
Right now, we have 9 artists. That's
Right,
Stigmata. We have Shavi Venkatagala, which is Shane Senaviratna's band. We have Anil Balasuriya. We have Sacrament, Javin Soiza, um, Kanishka Haviratna, My Music. Yeah.
right, right.
Sing. Javi. Who didn't I mention? Stigmata. What am I saying? Stigmata, and now we have Elo. So we have 10 now. That's
Right,
good.
right.
Elo is really a song today. That's gonna be awesome.
So, can you tell me about, because I know that your husband is Tenny from Stigmata. So can you tell me how you first met him?
Why do you ask such questions, Channa? Terrible. It's a hilarious story. Oh my gosh. So, Tenny was from the same batch as my cousins, right?
Right.
And he came and spoke to me. Like he was chatting with me on High Five and then on Facebook. Um, and then I used to go for this prayer meeting in Vellavata. And Tenny used to work in an office opposite St. Peter's.
Right.
So one day he came and met me in this prayer meeting, and then things kicked off. Tennis and Napoleon met me at a prayer meeting.
Wow. So Shehara, how do you balance, like, you do a lot of stuff, and then you have kids, and then your wife, you're a mother, and then how do you balance everything with music and everything?
It's a bit chaotic, Chan. I won't lie. It's a bit tough. And like for me, I think like everybody asks me this question because on social media it looks so perfect, right?
Right.
Not so perfect, but like it looks balanced. But what I mean is behind the scenes, there's a lot that goes into it. I have to prioritize certain things. My kids need to be taken care of. I need to make sure that I am a good role model to them, or at least be a good guide and a support to them, right? Because when they grow up, they need to be great people as well. I can't be a terrible person and then expect them to change their ways. Um, so for me, like there are certain things I need to prioritize sometimes, and other things that I have to kind of compromise on. Um, I mean, I'm still learning along the way, but like I found little hacks, little tips, little certain ways that I can actually keep things a little more organized and balanced. Like if I plan the meals right for the week, and if I plan my schedule, my work, my freelance graphic designing work, and all of that. Like I take care of the kids during the day, put them to sleep, and then I work in the night.
Right.
So when it comes to that, then my sleep deprivation is there. But there are little things that I need to work on, and like it goes along the way. Um, it's about prioritizing realistically, China, for me. So yeah,
Right. So,
things that
so Sharon, putting out finally the Fountain of Memory, EP album. So how's the reaction so far for the album?
so unintentionally, it became Sri Lanka's first metal album by a female, right?
Right.
That's not what I intended doing, but it turned out to be, and I'm so blessed and honored that it is, because like after it came out, people actually started hearing about it, um, and then I started hearing that people who aren't into metal are listening to it. It's kind of becoming a bit of a gateway to people who haven't listened to metal. They actually started to listen, and that for me like means a lot, because that's something I would really like to do, to get more people into the metal gigs, to help them see the beauty of the metal industry. So like and then from moms and from women in the community, that has been really empowering for me, because like doing all this stuff while taking care of the kids and all wasn't easy, and then to see other moms come and say, we love that you're doing this, and it's encouraging them to actually pursue their dreams as well, that means so much to me. And it's been amazing. Like I've sold albums, I'm selling online as well. Like I've gotten exposure through online magazines abroad, through radio stations, TV channels here, and there are other companies approaching me for video production, and we released a music video for Love for Eternity. So it's
Hmm.
been really good. The ball's rolling. It's good. The momentum's good.
Yeah, I think you said it right, because that's actually a good. I feel that it's a very good introductory album for someone who is not really into like metal. That's probably a good album, right, to start.
Yeah.
I really
Nice.
appreciate also that in the album, that album arts, like when people put out metal albums, they tend to like go in a direction where it's all like skulls and blood and all this stuff, like the album art. But you kind of kept it very if people don't know who you are, it's kind of the impression I get from looking at the album art is like it's kind of questionary, right? You cannot really guess it's a metal album, but it's interesting.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
devious.
because
That's
because
good.
I
That's
was
an interesting perspective.
yeah. No, I mean it's not a typical like
No.
when you look at a metal album, okay, there's some sort of a skull there, some sort of a demon or something, but it's not, right?
Well, see, that's the thing, right? Um, so the artist who helped me out with the album artwork, it was my idea, my concept, and
Right,
I drew out like a rough thing and sent it to him, Kailas Valentine, right? He's a tattoo artist. It's a pretty dark, descriptive tattoo artist. So the colors he used were a bit dark, and it looked a bit gloomy. But I was thinking, you know what, if this is gonna be the first female album and we're actually gonna
right,
use it as a gateway album, um, then let's mellow it down. Let's give people a chance. Let's welcome them to actually look into it, because you don't want to go. You don't. I didn't want it to kind of get lost in all the other metal albums as well.
right,
Because like you said, right, everything's like skulls, demonic. Like that's what I would have loved. But in respect to the music, with respect to the music and the message I wanted to give, I wanted to kind of mellow it down a bit. And also, like, if you look closely, it's not a very pretty sight. Like, there are like skull hands coming out of the water, and there's like Charon going across the river of Styx, and um, like the portals in the eyes. The entire thing's an anthropomorphic landscape, right, of my face and the myth of Earth, which is a Greek myth.
right.
So yeah, I mean, I think what mellowed it really down was the sky, because we made the sky light blue. But if
Right.
that was dark, uh, it looked pretty morbid. Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
good. It's good that it doesn't look so scary now.
So, what are the upcoming? Are you working on new songs, new music?
Yep. I'm working on working on a track with a Maldivian artist at the moment. It's a collaboration, so I need to record vocals for that and complete that song. There's one other collaboration with Channa Channa Channa. He's an amazing guitarist from here, and I'm doing vocals for a little section. And then I also want to complete my second album. I've started writing all the lyrics and the melodies. It's not 100% done yet. I'm still working on it, working on the lyrics and all of that. So if I could complete that and actually start recording this year, that would be epic. And I
Right.
hope to do that. Yeah.
Shehara, I
The
came across.
concept. The
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead. What you were saying?
Right now, the name of the album is The Collective Universe. So
Oh wow.
that's all. That's solid. Right?
So from Fountain of Memories to collective what?
The collective.
Collective.
Collective Universe.
Right. I came across a song on YouTube. Um, you did a song with Hipshi, right? A hip, like kind of hip hop song.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When was that?
With
When?
Makia.
Yeah, yeah. When did that happen?
What was that? 2013, 2014? That was actually right before I started recording the album. Because
Right.
like Hipshi's the one that it properly introduced me to Aslan. So 2013, 2014-ish. Yeah. He
Right.
approached me to do a collaboration with Makia, and yeah, that turned out good. Hipshi's
Right.
a fantastic producer. So like the second I heard the song and the quality of his song, I was on board.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty good song. Yeah. So, Shehara, any message to the people who listen to your album and like your music?
Um, the only message I can say, like to everybody who listens to the album, is first of all, thank you for listening. And like, if you like the album, then I encourage you to go and listen to more albums, more local metal albums from Sri Lanka, because there are so many other amazing bands that are so underrated. And it's not like we go out there and promote our music on a daily basis. We don't do that. We don't ask you to buy our music all the time, right? So half the time it gets lost in all the digital clutter.
Right.
What I'm saying is, if you're a fan of the music, or if you're a fan of any type of music, just go to places, go to platforms where all this music is there, listen to them, support the artists, buy their music, because it means a lot when you actually financially support them, and help them, like, invest in other projects that they are interested in, because it's not easy putting out albums, it's not easy making music, it's not easy doing photo shoots and actually investing in all of that. It takes money, it takes time, it takes effort. So please support the artists, help us to keep making music, and yeah, please support us in any way you can. And thank you for always supporting.
Mm. Yeah. And then anybody you want to shout out to, Shehara?
My bros. Dimitri, Revan, Izzy, and Ash. Sorry. Uh, yeah, these guys have been so patient, so awesome, so amazing. And we hope to start practicing next week. And we're gonna get ready for Uncaged, which is gonna be awesome. So shout out to them. A shout out to Tenny and Azlan and Izzy Balshad for helping me record my album. If not for them, this album wouldn't be out. And most importantly, to my family, to my mom and dad who always put up with me, to my sister who always helps me in every single crazy plan that I have, and to my cousins and aunts and uncles who always have, they are the ones who have always believed in me and helped me, like, keep the ball rolling, right? Like, whenever I have like video shoots, photo shoots, they are the ones who come and help me behind the scenes. Nobody sees this, but they are the ones that hold fans to my hair to make sure my hair looks good. They're the ones who put on my makeup, the hair, the dress, everything. So it's a lot of support. And I have a really amazing support system there, and I want to say thank you to all of them.
Yeah. So, so Shehara, thanks for joining the podcast, and talking about the songs and everything. So tell everyone how they can follow you, and then also tell them about the event Uncaged.
Awesome. So I am on Instagram most of the time, which is at Shehara herself. Um, that's my personal page. And then if you want to follow the local music scene where I actually promote musicians, it's the Sri Lankan music page on Instagram. Also, just please head over to sheharamusic.com and check out my music, my website, press kit, all of that. All my details are there. And yeah, I mean, if you're an upcoming artist or you want support in releasing your music and putting it on a platform where you get financial support, then head over to sh3@shara.com or srilankanmetal.com. And that's where I will be. The Uncaged show by Surya Brothers will be happening on the 31st of October, Halloween. It's going to be awesome, and it's going to be at the Pro Pub in Nugagada. So there are, due to safety regulations, there are only 150 tickets. So if you're in Sri Lanka and you'd love to be there, just please hit us up on Instagram or Facebook, or our numbers are on all over the posts. Call us and get the tickets, and we'll see you guys there. It's gonna be awesome. Thank you, Channa. Thank you so much for doing this. Like, this is really great.
Thank you, Shehara. So yeah, keep safe. So hopefully all the gigs will come back, right? So we can see more gigs.
I really hope everything goes back to. I mean, I hope it doesn't go back to how it used to be, but if we can evolve and make things a lot more cooler and awesome, that would be wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully. Let's see how it goes.
Okay. Thank you, Shehara.
What plans for you?
Sorry.
Thanks, Channa. What plans for you during the entire thing? In the meantime.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.